Hello everyone and welcome back to Paranormal Time. Today's video is all about the paranormal. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, there is no denying that the idea of ghost spirits and other supernatural entities has captivated people for centuries. In this video, we will be searching some of the most compelling evidence for paranormal activity, sharing some of the most chilling stories of ghostly encounters, and discussing some of the most popular theories about what lies beyond our realm of understanding. So turn off the light, grab a blanket, and get ready to explore the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Let's get started. Today I'm going to tell about a bachelor story. Those who stays in hostels, away from their families, most of them pursue their studies at good government or private university in the city. Bachelor's life is carried out with quite struggle, but I can also enjoy it well as I am also a bachelor student. It always takes a bit of effort to save expenses and live in a low-cost apartment. The brother with whom the incident happened is no longer in this country. He is currently working in a business in Assam, India, and I know him well. When he was a student, he few friends of Shahin used to stay in a house in somewhere in Earth to study for their bachelor's degree. In 2003, they rented the house despite it being old and bit expensive for them, thinking it was still cheaper than other options. When Shahin laid his head on the bed in his room, he saw a small window next to him, and outside the window was a small field surrounded by a green jungle with no one around. So the grass and greenery had grown abundantly. The only remnant of the neighboring house was a pile of trash. The other roommates were delighted when they came into the room, as they had not seen this room before. They immediately asked Shahin to close the window to prevent the smell of garbage and the hassle of mosquitoes and insects. Shahin saw something and immediately thought of leaving this place and finding another place in the house. Otherwise, he would leave the room and go somewhere else. Without a place to stay, he entered the house, and as he explored the house, his heart began to race. The building was tall and there was a roof. Shahin kept searching the house and eventually reached the roof. He saw a locked door on the roof and came down to check it. Suddenly from Shahin's roommate, sudden scream was heard and he also became frightened seeing something. Shahin went down to go to the room to see what was happening and found him roommate holding a kitchen knife standing near the window of the kitchen with wide eyes. I could clearly see the tremors in his body and knife shaking in his hand. The other roommate also came into the room. Shahin asked what had happened. The boy tells his brother that he saw a naked girl with a distressed face in front of the window and quickly turns toward him from one side of the window and disappears on the other side. The boy explains that it was a result of an electrical disturbance that occurred within a few seconds. The others were focused and haven't understand what happened. Someone receives a phone call. Someone is holding their hand in their pocket. Someone is asking if anything wrong or not. And someone says it's free paranormal experience. Everyone has felt more or less scared, but it hasn't reached its final stage yet. And they have tried to take it normally. Shahin mistakenly thinks and goes to his room, and just then he sees an old lady with a bundle of clothes going up the roof. Shahin quickly sees his room from behind and calls his auntie. Then he returns around and greets him, saying that we might need to key the roof as well. The old lady says that the roof isn't for everyone, and you guys are downstairs, so go dry your clothes outside. Shahin is disappointed and speechless like a child. Everyone sat down at the dinner table for dinner, but the boy, who was scared, suddenly spoke up and said, "There is a problem in this house. Do you believe me or not?" One of them said, "If you're going to stay, then stay. Where is the problem? Everyone else is fine. The boy spoke up again. You have seen the way we always make sure to use the toilet properly at night. But listen to what the other two in the remaining two roommates said. They want to share our toilet. They said you have to go to the dining room to use the toilet, and everyone laughed. After everyone had finished eating, while someone smoking cigarettes, they were sitting around the stove trying to light a fire. One person asked if it was possible to go up to the roof. Someone from the neighboring room said it was prohibited and would result in punishment. Another person came in to join them while asking for cigarettes. Half of the on that was already being smoked. He sat down for a while, but suddenly there was a terrible noise, as if something heavy had fallen from above onto the ground, but they couldn't see anything. Two people stood up and used the flashlight on their phone to look around, but there was nothing there. Two people entered the room and one said, I don't think we can stay in this house. The other person also spoke up and said, we paid rent and advance payment tomorrow. We'll talk the landlord. Meanwhile, someone sitting in the balcony. I couldn't even light a cigarette peacefully because of the ghost. At night, one roommate argued with the other about the charger. The argument was about why he charged it and why he didn't return it to his room after it was charged. Now the topic is about the meter's phone. My phone still has an 80% charge and I don't have a charger. The charger's owner said, I found my charger on your bed. It continued for a while and then they all went to their respective rooms. There were an estimated 3-4 people who were awake and not sleeping. Someone left the room to talk on the phone, probably his lover's phone, and went to the dining room. His roommate asked him where he was going and he replied, I'm here. As the conversation went on, the boy noticed something out of the corner of his eye towards the window, like a reflection of someone standing there. He turned to look, but there was nothing there. He sat back down on the dining table chair and stared at the window for a few moments before getting up and running to his room to check his phone and meet his girlfriend. The roommate asked what was going on, and the boy explained that he had seen something outside the window. The roommate jokingly asked where his girlfriend was, and the other roommates joined in, asking where the supposed figure was. They walked towards the window and one of them felt a bit uneasy, so they went closer and pulled back the curtain to reveal a pillar-crossed shadow that looked like someone standing outside. They all had a good laugh about it. Someone sitting there observed, and the signs of taking more and more with their lover. However, later some of those who were sleeping in the room before had already left. A few sounds of footsteps, some of sounds of turning over, and the sound of someone running on the roof could be heard inside the house. Someone from the adjacent room knocks on the door of the room and walks up. The boys from the other room calling them loudly. Everyone gets up more or less, and then he says, let's go to the landlord's house. I couldn't sleep peacefully today because they were dancing and running around until late night at night. He goes to inquire about the problem and asks, why can't we sleep? How do they sleep? Shahin said, brother, everyone seems to be sleeping during the day and I understand that there's some trouble in this house, but we can just leave now. The excited boy rushed in, said he had been studying all night because he has a class today and couldn't sleep. Why did he rent this house with so many problems? Also, he reminded us that we have to pay the rent by the 10th of the next month, and it would be better to pay it on time so we don't get stuck for 3 months. As we were discussing all of these things, morning came and we all ready to go for work and school. We'll have to catch later and find out what the problem is this house. But for now, everyone is heading for their class and jobs. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Whether you are a believer or skeptic, there is no denying the enduring fascination that people have with ghosts, spirits, and other supernatural entities. We hope you enjoyed this video and that it has left you with some new insights and perspective on this intriguing topic. As always, thank you for watching and we will see you at the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay tuned, see you in the next episode. Good night.